The Centre for Public Legal Education Alberta, CPLE, is a non-profit organization with the goal of making the law understandable for Albertans. CPLE provides legal information and education to the public. Only lawyers can provide legal advice. Look for our contact information at the end of this video. Enjoy! This video's topic, legal information versus legal advice, addresses the distinction between the two and why it is important, especially for service providers, to know the difference. Why should we care? Well, there might be some grave consequences, such as the possibility of fines, but most importantly, if errors are made, there can be serious repercussions for clients. Alberta's Legal Profession Act, Section 106, states that no person shall practice as a barrister and solicitor, essentially practice law, unless they are an active member of the law society. But what is the practice of law? While there is no specified definition of practice of law, nor is there one for legal advice for that matter, it is clear that a person who acts as a solicitor is one who conducts an action or other legal proceeding on behalf of another, or advises other persons on specific legal matters, or frames documents intended to have a legal operation, or generally assists another person in matters affecting their legal position. Let's dive a little deeper into the fundamental differences: legal information versus legal advice. In a nutshell, legal information explains the law and the legal system in general terms. The information is not tailored to a specific case. Legal advice applies the law, including statute and case law and legal principles to a particular situation. It provides recommendations about what course of action would best suit the facts of the case and what the person wants to achieve. The best way to differentiate legal information and legal advice is to observe the actions taken in each case and the language used to serve clients. Actions related to legal information are more general. The goal is to ensure that people are aware of laws and their rights by referring to resources, showing how to search, explaining what a law says, outlining possible options, explaining processes, defining common legal terms, or telling a person to get more help. Actions related to legal advice are focused on specific cases. The goal is to advise and direct people on how to resolve their legal issues by interpreting and applying the law, researching a legal issue, giving a legal opinion, recommending next steps, referring to certain professionals, preparing legal documents, or representing someone. The language used is also a good indicator. As far as legal information is concerned, the language remains general and non-directive in nature, using expressions like, "You might consider," "Your options are, but you must decide," "Here's how you can find a lawyer or a case law," "You can go to this clinic for more help," or "You can try here to find more information." Legal advice language is more directive and points people to what they should do. Some examples would be, "In your case, you should," "According to the law, you," "In my opinion," "I would recommend," "You should tell the judge," or "What you're doing is legal or illegal." The distinction between information and advice is even less clear from the client's perspective. It is important to think about perceptions. How is your answer going to be perceived by the person asking the question? What are their expectations? Have ready-made statements or disclaimers handy to avoid misunderstandings, and give a consistent message about only providing legal information and not being allowed to provide legal advice. It is especially important to be prepared when it comes to hypothetical questions, or questions that you know are being asked to yield a certain type of answer, like, is this type of activity illegal? Or the classic, what if questions. Err on the side of caution, or ask for help if you think that answering a specific question takes you into the realm of legal advice. CPLI has published a useful tip sheet on the subject of legal information versus legal advice that can easily be accessed by searching on cpli.ca. And on the subject of forms, what we know for sure is that drafting legal documents is a legal service restricted to lawyers. Unfortunately, it is still unclear whether it extends to helping with filling out forms, and what kind of assistance with forms, in terms of quality and nature, is considered legal services. There are no real answers when it comes to issues like, what if a client needs help understanding information in the form? Or, where in the form should a client record a particular fact? What is the meaning of challenging terminology in non-native language? What if a client is not literate and needs help recording their narrative? Forms remain a gray area, and the only thing we can do is to be very aware of our own actions and language, and keep these things in mind. What type of form is your client dealing with? Is it a legal form? Is this a form you can accurately and competently translate, interpret, and/or assist the client with? Is the client able to tell their own story? Most organizations have a policy or practice guidelines when it comes to assisting clients. Ensure that you have that conversation on a regular basis. Ultimately, if the form may end up before a decision maker in a judicial setting, like court, tribunal, commission, quasi-judicial tribunal, then don't do it. If in doubt, refer the client to other service providers that are in a better position to provide legal advice, such as legal clinics, legal aid, duty counsel at the courts, or a private lawyer that can be found through lawyer referral service. And of course, you can check out CPLI's Law Central website for a large array of resources. Thank you for watching this video from the Center for Public Legal Education, Alberta. We endeavor to make the law understandable for Albertans. You can find CPLI's resources on our website, cpli.ca, or reach us via email at info@cpli.ca, or simply by phone at 780-451-8764. Until next time.